We have been learning what I call the love commandments. And here are the ones we've talked about so far. Love God. Love your neighbor. Love your enemy. Love justice. Love mercy. Love truth. That's a big job. It's hard to do all those things. But I do have one more to add. The same verse in Zechariah that told us to love truth gave us one more thing to love. God said, love truth and peace. So that's our command for today. Love peace. The word translated peace here is a famous Hebrew word. If you only know one Hebrew word, this would be a good one to know. The word is shalom. Have you heard the word shalom before? For Jewish people, it is a greeting. Instead of hello, they say shalom. But shalom doesn't mean hello. It's often translated peace. You probably don't know Hebrew and can't read it because they have a different alphabet. But they do have an alphabet, and it's not all that hard to learn. It would take you years to learn the whole Hebrew language, but you could learn the alphabet in just one day. Really, if you worked at it hard, if you made it a project, maybe you're a little bit bored this summer and running out of things to do. You could take this on as a project. You could learn the Hebrew alphabet, the whole thing in one day. Then you would have a start to learn the language the Old Testament was actually written in. So can you guess which letter is the letter S in Hebrew? It's this one, over here on the right, because Hebrew is written from right to left. Did you know that? Does that seem backwards to you? Why do they write backwards? Well, actually, Hebrew is older than English. Maybe they do it right, and we do it backwards. Did you ever think about that? Actually, there's not a right way or a wrong way here. Nobody is wrong, it's just different. And those aren't the only two ways either. There are some languages that are written up and down. How the language is written is not really important. But this is the word shalom. And in Hebrew, you write from right to left. So that's the S or the SH sound here, and a letter that's similar to L and O and M. But where's the A? Hebrew doesn't have a letter for the A here. It's that little mark underneath. That's the A. Of course, what's important is not how you write the word. It's what it means. So what does the word peace mean? Well, our English word peace can mean a state of mind. You are calm and peaceful. You are not troubled or worried. Here is a peaceful picture of a swan on a calm lake. That is one meaning of the word peace. Peace also means that there is no war. This picture is at the end of World War II, when the Japanese surrendered. They signed a peace treaty, and there was no more war. Now there was peace. But neither one of these is exactly what the word shalom means. It can mean calm and quiet, but it means much more. It means that everything is right. Everything is good. Things are the way they ought to be. I had a hard time thinking of a picture to illustrate shalom. But as I thought about it, I remembered something that happened one Christmas when I was a child. It was nighttime, and it had been a good day. It probably snowed, and we loved to go out and play in the snow together as a family. Then the rest of my family went Christmas shopping, I think, and I stayed home. I turned on the Christmas tree lights. I turned off all the other lights. I played some of my favorite Christmas music, and I sat down in the living room and just watched and listened and enjoyed the spirit of Christmas. I thought about the meaning of Christmas. I thought about the presents under the tree. Not my presents I got for my family. I don't know if you have figured this out yet, but the best part of Christmas presents is not when you get the perfect gift. It's when you give the perfect gift and you make somebody else happy. That's nice. So I thought about some presents that I was sure would make my family happy. And I was very, very happy. It seemed like everything was just right. Everything was perfect. That's kind of what shalom means. You can have peace in the middle of a storm, but you can't have shalom. Shalom is when everything is right. Shalom is when the storm stops. The Bible talks about peace hundreds of times. Several times, God is called the God of peace. Here is one of them, 2 Thessalonians 3:16. The Lord of peace himself give you peace. One of the most important kinds of peace in the Bible is peace with God. Romans 5:1 says that because we have been justified, we have peace with God. Maybe that is the most important kind of peace. And before he left, Jesus told his disciples, "My peace I give you." And Galatians 5:22 tells us that the fruit of the Spirit is love and joy and peace. Do those three words describe you? Christians should be people of love. They should be people of joy. And they should be people of peace. But the Bible means more than just that you should have peace, that you should be at peace. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, "Blessed are the peace makers." That's not something you are or something you feel. That's something you do. You are helping other people be at peace. You are helping to solve some of the troubles and conflicts in the world. You are making peace. Are you a peaceful person? Maybe. Some people are naturally more peaceful than others. But are you a peacemaker? That's harder. Wanting peace for myself can be selfish. Wanting peace for other people, that is part of loving my neighbor. But you might say, some people don't want to be at peace with me. Some people are just hard to get along with. They start the fights, not me. I can't be at peace with them. That might be true. And that's why Paul wrote in Romans 12, "If possible, so far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men." You can't solve every conflict, but you can try. You can do whatever is possible to make peace. That's what peacemakers do, even with people that are hard to get along with. People like your enemies. We are supposed to love our enemies. We talked about that. And that means to try to be at peace with them. Proverbs says, when a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. If you try to be a peacemaker, God is on your side, and he will help. And what can you do to help? How do we make peace? Well, here is one practical suggestion from Proverbs 15. The Bible says that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. When someone is angry with you and says harsh words to you, it is natural to want to get angry yourself and to say harsh words back. But that usually makes the situation worse. It stirs up more anger. That doesn't make peace. But if you can give a gentle answer, a calm, quiet, peaceful answer, you can help to get rid of the anger. You can be a peacemaker. In any conflict, there are things you can do that make for peace, and there are things you can do that make the conflict worse. For example, your little sister accidentally knocks over a plant and spills dirt on the floor. And she is upset, maybe angry with herself, not with you. There are harsh words you can say that will make her feel worse. Or you can respond calmly, quietly, helpfully, and build her up. That's being a peacemaker. Here is an interesting Bible story in which a calm answer prevented a big conflict. The story is in Joshua 22. Here is the promised land. And Joshua and his army have conquered almost all of it. It is time to settle down, and each tribe has a place to live. And 3 tribes, Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, they really like the land over here, across the Jordan River. They ask Joshua if they can live there instead of inside the promised land. And Joshua says, yes, okay, but be careful to keep God's commandments. You have to obey the law. You have to come back to the tabernacle to worship. And they say, okay, we will. But a short time later, Joshua finds out that they have built their own altar across the river. Are they going to disobey God and set up their own worship? This is bad. They can't do that. We need to stop them, the people say. Let's go to war, they say. So they get the whole army together again, and they prepare to go attack those 3 tribes. They should be at peace, but instead they are about to have a war. But then, a very wise man, Phinehas, says, wait, are we sure? Do we know for sure that that is what they are doing? Maybe there is a misunderstanding. Maybe we should ask them. So he takes some of the leaders, and they go across the river to meet with those 3 tribes. And Phinehas asks them, why are you making this altar? And they say, oh no, this is not an altar. This is just a monument. It's not an altar. We are not going to offer sacrifices here. We still want to worship the right way. We just want this pile of stones to be a reminder that we are still part of your nation. We will still come to the tabernacle to worship and make sacrifices. So now there is peace. They don't have to have a war after all. But they almost made a big mistake. They almost started a war over a mistake. But Phinehas was a peacemaker, and he discovered the truth. Sometimes the truth is not so good, and sometimes there needs to be war. The Bible says there is a time for peace, and sometimes there is a time for war. But this was not a time for war. And if you love truth, you will always want to find out the truth. And if you love peace, you will always try to find a way to make peace. That's our command for today. Be a peacemaker. Love peace.